Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking about publishing whilst plotting. Why you need to think about your reader whilst you're plotting. Now I've already said it's important to think about your reader whilst you're plotting from an engagement point of view. We've already talked about that, and this video is not a repetition of that. In this video we're talking about identifying your target audience, tailoring your book towards that audience, and why that's important to achieve your book success and book publishing dreams. So let's do this. So it may seem completely alien to you to be thinking about publishing your book whilst you're in such an early stage of plotting, and that's fair enough. It really was for me too. I really struggled with the concept of thinking what my book was going to look like when I barely had 1,000 words on the page. But it is crucial for your book's future success, and here's why. Whether you plan to go self-published or traditionally published or indie, whatever you decide to do, you need to be able to market your book. One day your book is going to be a product aimed at people that we want to buy it. Now you may say, oh, I'd just be thrilled to get it published. I don't care about sales, I don't care about marketing, which is fine. I was the same way with my first book, Undercover Thief. I was just thrilled that anyone would consider publishing it. I didn't care how many people bought it, I didn't care how many people read it. It just made me feel that my work was good, that my work was valuable. However, your publisher is going to think very, very differently. Your publisher wants to know that you've thought about your target audience, how you're going to market your book. Do you think it's going to sell? Have you thought about that while constructing your book? They are seeing your book as a product. In simple terms, publishers produce products and they need to know that it's going to sell and that you've thought about that whilst creating that product. So you don't need to have an entire marketing campaign sorted out. You don't need to start hiring billboards or booking time on radio shows, none of that. Your book still is in its early stages. What publishers and you should know is who you're writing for, and they need to know that you've tailored your book specifically for your audience. You're going to have to first convince your agent that it's good enough, and then they're going to have to convince a publisher that it's good enough. So in retrospect, you have to sell it first to your agent and then the publisher. So you should think about one-line pitches and USPs, unique selling points, and practice those and think about those while in the early stages. And of course, it makes sense if you're going to go self-publishing to think about that, because one day you're going to do it all. You're going to be author, blogger, promoter, advertisement, editor. You're going to do all of those jobs yourself. So it makes sense to start thinking about doing all of that early. And if you still don't know which way you want to go when you go to publishing your book, that's fair enough. But you still need to think about the fact that one day it will be published. Whether you're going to go self or traditional, you need to think about its promotability, its marketability, and how people are going to buy it. But it's more than just sales, it's practical too. If you're writing a book for 12-year-olds, but your book is full of frilly descriptions, complex language and just pages and pages of explanation, then it's not suitable or suited to 12-year-old audiences. They're going to turn off, they're going to switch off, they're going to think it's a bad book. However, if you've got some pictures dotted throughout to break up large paragraphs of text, lots of speech, lots of exciting things, smaller paragraphs, maybe even a smaller word count so that less experienced readers aren't put off by such a large book. If you've thought about things like that, then your book is going to sit well with your target audience, and that's good for you and selling it later on. So you can see it's sort of like a triangle. It's you writing it, your audience and your publisher, and they all need to be happy. So it helps you in the construction of your book, but it also helps you then sell your book later because you've identified these things early, you've structured your book around it, and then you can say, look, this is what I've done, this is how I've structured it, and it means that you've got quality for your readers. So now think about plot. Think about the things that your characters are going through. Are there adult themes going through this book? And if so, it is not suitable to pitch this as a preteen novel. It'll be laughed right out of the room. So try and think practically. What is the genre that this will fit into? Is it teen, NA, YA? Learn the difference and then pitch it at the right level. Try to place it in its correct genre. Is it family fiction? Is it humour? Is it drama? Is it thriller? Is it horror? There are lots of different genres out there, and it's worth exploring all of them to make sure that you can find the right home for your book. Another really great thing to do is to do your research. I hate to break this to you, but your book is not one of a kind. There will be other books out there in a similar genre. So find those books and try and work out where they succeeded or where they failed, and try and avoid failures in your own books and set up your own book for its success. So you've done your research, you've looked into the genre of the books like yours and your target audience. Now you need to think about where your target audience actually is. So I write for teenagers and young adults. and their presence is big on YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram, those last two being the main ones. So I have Instagram accounts, I have YouTube's accounts, I have Snapchat accounts that they can all follow me on. You need to work out a way that you can reach your target audience without being spammy. So if you're trying to write for women in their 30s, maybe Snapchat or Instagram isn't the best way to go, but Twitter is. You need to find a way to let people know about your book without being spammy, insistent and kind of cringy, because that will turn people off your book. So that's all from me this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit the thumbs up and that big red subscribe button. And if you've got any questions, please just put them in the comment section or hit me up on any of my social media platforms. I hope you really enjoyed this book. I've really loved all of my time on YouTube. And next week, I don't know what we're talking about yet, but I'm sure it'll be great. I think I'm going to talk about how writers can make money without going through publishing. Because there are lots of different paths out there. Publishing isn't the only one. And I know that I certainly starting out, well, I was in university, so I could have used a few of these tips earlier. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm H.T.King, and I'll see you soon. Bye!